I've got a few things that I want to run through with you just because it's back to basics. The thing is, what we've done out here, we need to dig down and really work out is what is it that we are actually doing and how is it that what we're doing is working and that sort of thing. And like I've been trucking around in this whole space for like 24 years or something now. The thing when we break it right down and it comes back to the big word for me is diversity. It's all about diversity. And with diversity comes complexity. With that complexity, then we were able to be, as humans, we got a fairly high requirement for nutrition and that sort of thing so that we can function as we function. It all come together with that diversity and the complexity so that we are able to be part of the system as well. And then with modern agriculture, what we're doing a lot of the time is we're running down the complexity and the diversity. And like if we run it down too far, we won't be here anymore because the system won't be able to support us having a fairly high requirement for nutrition and everything else like that. Then it's about the things that we can manage on our farm. And when we're looking at an outcome, and really we have to have that up fairly high as an outcome, and like it's my number one principle is diversity. That's what we're always managing for, is diversity. So when we start talking about grazing systems, like livestock operation and that sort of thing, we want more diversity into the system. Then we've got to graze for diversity. And so then we've got to think and work out our grazing management as to how grazing management picks up the diversity of all the plants and things that we've got in our system. So grazing management, that's a really big one. And then when we get in the cropping space, because we're talking about diversity, and when we're only doing monoculture crops, that's only one species ever that we're all, so we've got to up the ante on that. But what we can do is just to fast track it with the multi-species is planting 3, 4 or 5 things together as what we plant. But then the next part that, and Darren I'm sure can talk about this, is that when we stress less about our weeds, and then all those low succession plants that come into the system that'll be out in that crop there today, we don't stress about them. They all add to diversity then. If we've got a 4-way mix in our multi-species and we've got another 10 low succession plants or weeds in our crop, all of a sudden we're on a 15-way mix. That's a whole lot changed up from what we had when we just had a monoculture crop. Are there any questions in and about that on the where we're doing with the multi-species? And then this thing about the weeds, like we've got to get over our fear of weeds. We've been fighting weeds for how long? Forever. And we haven't won the war on them. So then we got to work towards having the weeds be part of our solution, not our big problem. And then when we do get our weeds, all the different low succession plants, they're all in there cycling and they're photosynthesizing and they're doing. And so when we let them do and be, then we have them working for us, not necessarily against us. And there's a bit of a mind shift about that.
And you might just talk about the reset, how all that works.
There's another whole discussion actually with the reset, but just briefly what it is there is as we've got change in season, our winter weeds finish and our summer weeds start, and then our summer weeds finish and our winter weeds start. And this is the whole no-kill principle, and that comes from Bruce Maynard. He put that stuff together. And that is that when the season starts, we have to have our seeds in the ground at the same time as the weed seeds or the low succession seeds plants are in the ground. And that's part of how we win. And especially, then we do like to have them planted, don't we, Darren? So that they're in the ground 2-3 centimetres, just the right depth, so that they get that rain on them. And then in the Ningan context here, we get that first shower of rain. There's usually a little bit of warmth still around. Our season hasn't got cold or anything yet. And that's when our mixed species, they jump and they come along then. So that's part of the resets.
Yeah, could you explain low succession, Martin?
All I'm doing when I talk about low succession plants and weeds is just trying to take the stigma off weeds. Because, as soon as anything gets labelled a weed, there's a lot of negativity goes with that, isn't there? And basically what our weeds are is they're low succession plants. They're what's going to grow out here next year on this baldy sort of country. There'll be, and as soon as guys keep stuff clear around their silos, spiny emex and buddy caltrop and that sort of stuff wants to grow around there. And so what it is what plants you've got growing is actually a direct reflection of your management. And this is the part where I talk about taking responsibility. You know, if you've got some weeds, if you've got a paddock full of weeds, low succession plants, have a look back in your diary. Most of our stuff ends up from overgrazing. Like, overgrazing is the biggest problem we have in Australia, I see when I'm driving around in the landscape. And that's grazing management. You know, that's why we got to up the ante on the grazing management. But yeah, these low succession plants, they're the pioneer species. And so what's happened is we started off on a level and we've managed our system down and our system backwards. And as we come down and backwards, that's when the weeds come back into the system. And then we plateau with a big bunch of weeds and whinge and spray and stay on a low level. So if we don't want weeds to feature profusely in our system anymore, we've got to drive the system up or manage the system up and get health and diversity back into the system.
Statement, Stan Parsons, who brought RCS out here years ago, said farmers spend their whole lives trying to grow things that want to die and kill things that want to grow. And weeds are really, apparently, really are just like herbs and spices. They're in the mix there for a reason. Question, with diversity, does it vary from area to area, from the plants species, groups of different plant groups? Because I've been told, you know, there's about 4 or 5 core species that you need. Does that vary from Ningen to Parks, etc., or is it mainly the same core plant groups that we all require everywhere?
Christine Jones talks about 4 different groups of plants and that sort of thing. When we do our mixed species,